to physics specifically, how do they have to approach it differently basically?
Physics is the most unique subject. It has fun theories, fun experiments, it has mathematics. It's a mixture of everything. One part you have to understand, visualize something. Second part you have to know the mathematics of it. It's a combination of both. As a student, what should they do in physics? I believe numericals, practice. I don't believe in reading books. Numerical practice is the most important part of physics.
And I've also come across students who ask a lot of questions like, ma'am, if I am an average student, like what do I have to do on a daily basis?
This question, I will not take credit. I remember one of my students told me his practice, what he did, now I give the same suggestion to my students. What they make mistake is, without any path, without any direction, without any goal, they just study. So when you do the practice, you must know what you're looking for, otherwise it will be directionless.
How should a student recover after scoring low in a mock test?
We have to make the students believe it's a normal thing to perform bad. It happens to everyone. Students should focus on the moment. Focus on what is the task for today. Don't think about the exam after 3 months. Don't think about what will happen. Don't think about if I perform bad in one exam, how will it affect my goal? How will it affect my selection chances? Focus on what is the task in front of you right now.
Welcome to Candid Talks with mentors, where we keep things real, relatable, and absolutely going to help students who are navigating their preparation through the whirlwind of competitive examinations. What if I tell you that most of the students are doing wrong things every single day? Long hours of study, constant stress, no social life. The result doesn't match with the efforts that we put in, right? So what actually works? So today we are cutting into the noise of real, honest insight from someone who has supported, seen a lot of students' success and failures up close. Joining with us, Abhimanyu, sir, experienced physics faculty with over 11 plus years of experience and the center head of AIinEducation Mangalore with us. We are going to talk about what works in a competitive examination and what doesn't work in a competitive examination. Let's get started to the video. Welcome to Candid Talks, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much for joining, sir. Walk us through your journey as a student and what kind of student were you?
Ma'am, to be very honest, I was a very mediocre student. I still remember in my every report card, there will be a line written by the teachers, can do better.
Okay.
I think it's a cliche line, but my parents took it very seriously.
Okay.
So I still remember when I was in class 9, my dad took me to one of the career guidance session. It was conducted by an IITian. That was the first time I actually knew what I wanted to do in my life.
Right.
I still remember before that, my career goal was changing according to the latest movie which is in the fashion.
Correct.
And I was changing. Sometime I wanted to become doctor, sometime an army officer. But after that career guidance session, I got a direction. That JEE is the exam I want to clear. And that was my dream. I did not know what clearing JEE will mean for my life. I just knew that this is a reputed exam. So many students are preparing for it, so I should also prepare for that.
Right.
So I started my coaching from class 10th, continued it first 11th and 12th. It was a roller coaster ride. It wasn't an easy journey.
Right.
I feel the biggest mistake when I look at a hindsight for me, I was a very shy student.
Okay.
I am a shy person inherently.
Correct.
So I was a very shy student. I hesitated to ask doubts. I hesitated to approach to my teachers. Whenever I had difficulties, my first response was to stay away, to hide from the teachers.
Right.
That actually was a roadblock in my preparation. That led me to waste my first year, class 11th. It was not up to the mark. There were a lot of backlogs. Luckily, in class 12th, I picked it up. I got a decent rank in JEE, got into a good college, and then continued my BTech.
Right.
Then later on, again, my goal changed. So I never planned what I wanted to do after JEE.
Correct.
It was just JEE was the first goal I wanted to clear. My next goal, what to do next.
Right.
So then my goal changed and I thought I should go into the research side.
Okay.
So after BTech, I did my MSc, Masters in Physics,
Right.
with specialization in astronomy. I
Okay.
was fascinated with astronomy, astrophysics.
Wonderful.
Then cleared the GRF exam with under 100 rank.
Amazing.
And then I got into ISC Bangalore for the research PhD program. But once again, my goal started to change.
Right.
I am lucky in that regard that I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to become a teacher.
Right.
My sister is also a teacher. My mom was a teacher. She retired just recently. So I knew one thing in my life, I wanted to become a teacher, and that is a decision I am never regretting. I have no regret for it. I was very clear. If anyone asked me, would you do something different if you could go back, I would say still wanted to become a teacher.
Okay.
So research was one way. I could do my PhD, become a professor in a college, but that was too long.
Right.
It would have taken me 10, 12 years with no guarantee for that. So
Obviously.
since that was my main goal, I thought, why not go for it directly?
Right.
So I dropped out of ISC Bangalore, which most people told me it's a foolish decision.
Right. Right.
Maybe I could have finished my PhD and then went on for coaching, but I wanted to become a teacher.
Right.
So why not directly?
Mhm.
And I knew this was my calling. As I told you, I'm an introvert person,
Right,
but the
right.
moment I enter the class, I'm the most extrovert person.
Okay.
I think of myself like performer in a circus. I'm
Correct.
performing in front of the crowd.
Okay.
So I do everything. I make them laugh.
Okay.
I will do some silly things to break the ice.
Okay.
The moment I'm out of the class, I'm a different person. The moment I'm in the class, I'm a different person. And that is how my journey has been as a teacher now, finally in Allen.
Yes, beautiful. So since you were talking about competitive examinations like JRF examinations, so I would like to understand what was the biggest struggle that you had during your preparation?
Ma'am, biggest struggle for me or any student would be the analysis, finding out where they are going wrong.
Right.
It is the toughest part.
Right.
We know we are not able to get the result.
Right.
Okay. Imagine I'm a patient, I'm having a fever, and I go for a blood test. My blood test shows something is missing,
Right.
or there is a vitamin, or there is some micronutrient which is missing. That is fine. How and where am I going wrong? Where is the exact problem? Figuring that out is the half the work done. Then you can always ask the teachers for the suggestions. You can work on it. So the moment my marks started to go down, I did not know what to do. I tried to study more. It actually did not help. In fact, my result even went further bad. So studying more and more actually created a burnout situation for me. I had to take a break. My parents took me for a vacation for 1 week. So that was the biggest struggle.
Right.
Secondly, luckily for me, as I told you, I'm an introvert person. Written exams have never faced too much difficulty.
Right.
When I write a written exam, I feel like I'm in a bubble where I can't see anyone else.
Correct.
I can't feel whether the fan is running or not. Is there an invigilator? Is there a student? The problem with me happens when I'm in interview.
Right.
When there's a one-to-one full limelight on me, that is the main issue. So written exam have never been an issue for me. I have always excelled, performed well. But yes, during my preparation years, the same struggle my students are facing, finding out where we are going wrong, and then the rectification.
Right.
That is the biggest step.
Right. Which means I can say an introvert turned into an interactive person right now. Like being a teacher, that's absolutely a different thing.
Yes, definitely.
And then, sir, like we were talking about the biggest struggle. Looking back then, what is something that you would have done it differently when you realize it that I should have done it long back during your preparation time?
Ma'am, as I told you, I hesitated to approach to my teachers. That was my biggest mistake.
Right.
The moment I had the first doubt, the moment I had the first backlog, the moment my marks dropped down, my rank dropped down first time, I wish I could have directly met my teachers, asked their suggestion, instead of overthinking what they will think. Now, when I'm in the shoes of a teacher, I know the teachers want their students to come up.
Correct.
They will never judge them. They will in fact give them an idea, give them a clarity. Maybe what I was facing, many other students were facing the same thing, and teachers will be able to guide us accordingly. So Now, when I become a teacher, I'm looking for those Abhimanyu in
Right.
the class who are hesitating to approach. I know they have a problem. They know that they have to ask, but they could not gather the courage, gather the confidence to ask. That is my main role. I
Right.
don't want those students to miss out of their rank because of this issue.
Right. Also, take us through your journey with Alan, how it has been evolved over the past years.
Ma'am, so I joined Alan in 2019, just 1 year before COVID in
Right.
Kochi. I'm basically from Delhi.
Okay.
So coming to Kochi, never been to Kerala before,
Okay.
was a big decision. I was nervous. I had so many doubts. How would the students be? As a teacher, will they be able to understand my language? Is my English good enough for them to understand it? So there were a lot of doubts.
Right.
But the Allen environment gave me the confidence, gave me the platform. So I was taking almost all types of batches. That gave me the confidence that I can handle all kind of students. Then COVID happened. We all went back home, online. That was also a big learning curve for me. How can I make my classes more interactive?
Right.
Because me as a teacher, my main skill, my main talent is interaction.
Right.
I cannot teach a dull crowd.
Right.
You give me a class of 50 most mischievous students, I would rather have them over the 50 most dull students. So online was a very big challenge for us, how to interact. So that was a big learning curve for me. Then 2021, I got an opportunity to get a transfer to a newly opened center in Mangalore. I joined as a physics faculty.
Okay.
I was also the head of the physics department there, handling all kind of batches. Because a new center, you have a lot of responsibilities.
Right.
Then I became the campus head of one of the campuses in Mangalore in 2024. And last year, I finally became the center head of the whole Allen Mangalore or Dakshin Kannada.
Okay. So, being the center head of Mangalore, now I would love to understand how is the mindset of students in Mangalore when they enter Allen? What sort of mindset will they enter, and when they leave Allen, what sort of mindset they go out?
Yes, Mangalore students are different from the student we have taught before. It is challenging. It is fun also.
Okay.
The students are very disciplined, very respectful. They obey us, but somewhere they lack the confidence. They are afraid to come up with their doubts. They're afraid to question. They will accept, they will believe whatever we tell them.
Right.
I will add one point here. I still remember when I was a student in my coaching in class 11, 12, one of my teacher, he used to make us do one thing, and that still stays with me. He used to tell us that whatever teacher tells, never believe them blindly.
Okay.
He used to tell us in the class, don't believe the teacher blindly. Whatever he used to teach, he will make us go back in the book and revise and check. Now, this example I give to my students. They believe us, they accept whatever they say. That is good, but they never question, they never
Right.
ask, they never counter. And that is where their improvement slows down.
Right.
So, one big challenge for us is to give them the confidence.
Right.
We have to build that confidence in them that they can approach us.
Absolutely.
Okay, they will come us with a very simple doubt, very silly question, and they will see our response. If we deny that proper response to them, they will not come to us again.
Right. Right.
So students need confidence, and that is the responsibility of teachers, not just to give them the knowledge,
Right.
but to build their personality also.
So, person like you who can easily resonate with such kind of students, since you were talking
Yes,
about
definitely.
introvert.
Definitely.
Also. Sir, now you've taught different set of students coming to JEE, NEET, or foundation classes. So, out of all these things, which one do you love the most?
To be very honest, I love teaching the foundation batches
Okay.
most, class 9th and 10th students.
Okay.
My skills of teaching were actually developed. I still remember when I joined my coaching, I was hired as a JEE faculty, but the
Okay.
first thing they did, they gave me the 9th and 10th batches. I was not happy with it.
Okay.
But eventually I started liking it. They taught me how to teach because you have very small content.
Right.
With one single word, we can spend a whole lecture.
Right.
How to give those stories, how to make it entertaining. Especially the student of 9th and 10th who are preparing for Olympiad, they need those concepts of 11th and 12th,
Right.
but without going into depth of it.
Correct.
For example, if I talk about physics, as a physics teacher, Kinematics may we teach 9th and 10th student all the questions of 11th of kinematics without doing the formulas of differentiation integration.
Right.
So how to give them those high level concepts without high level maths? I was able to do that. Now I apply with the same thing. So I teach a class 11 student, imagining it's a 9th class student.
Right.
And I teach a class 12th, imagining it's a 10th class.
Okay.
So I deliver at that pace. That helps me to explain and they find it very easy to understand.
Right. So when it comes to physics specifically, how do they have to approach it differently basically?
Physics is the most unique subject. I feel teaching physics is the easiest thing. You can interact. It has fun theories, fun experiments. It has mathematics. It's a mixture of everything. Now, for a student, physics is a challenging subject.
Right.
Again, to be honest, when I was a student, physics was my weakest subject.
Yes.
Okay. Because physics, one part you have to understand, visualize something. Second part, you have to know the mathematics of it.
Right.
It's a combination of both. If you're bad at even one aspect of it, you'll not be able to perform well. As a student, what should they do in physics? I believe numericals,
Right.
practice. I don't believe in reading books. I don't believe in reading texts or even, now this is a controversial statement. We all say that students should read NCERT. I don't believe directly reading NCERT. I believe solving questions. And then when you get stuck, then look for that specific paragraph in the book or your class notes or your textbook and read that. Now this is where students make a biggest mistake. When they say we are doing revision, we are reading books, they are not doing well. It's not a story. If you don't know what you're looking for,
Right.
you will just scroll through the pages. So I tell the students, you solve question, you get stuck, that's a good thing. Getting stuck, not able to do question is not a bad thing. You know now where you have the problem.
Right.
And then specifically look for that particular concept in your books. If you don't find it, approach a teacher and then add those points in your class notes. So the theory or the topic should be read, the note should be read according to the numerical. The numerical practice is the most important part of physics. If you're preparing for any competitive exam, that is what they're going to test you.
Right.
So if you want to do better at something, you have to practice the same
Right.
thing. It's a simple thing. If you want to be good at bowling or you want to be a good batsman, you have to practice a specific skill
Right.
as many times as possible.
Right.
So that is my way of, that is what I tell the students. That is what we try. As a teacher, I try to make them visualize, improve their understanding through different modes. I mean, I will draw diagrams on the board, I will explain it. I will also show some animations, some videos, definitely. But I don't believe in starting with that.
Right.
I want them to develop their own imagination skill first. And once they've understood it, to sharpen it further, I will show some
Amazing.
animations. So that is what I believe. So in short, students, practice as many questions as possible. Ask doubts your teachers. That is the only way you will improve.
And I've also come across students who ask a lot of questions like, ma'am, if I am an average student, like what do I have to do on a daily basis? So I would like to put that question to you. Tell us about it.
This question, I will not take credit. I remember one of my students told me he had a very good practice. He scored very well in all the competitive exams. So his practice, what he did, now I give the same suggestion to my students. See, what they make mistake is without any path, without any direction, without any goal, they just study. I have heard students telling me that sir, we study 8 hours, 6 hours, 4 hours. We practice 50 questions a day, 60 questions a day. The quality matters far more. Now, what do I mean by that? It's a very generic statement, but what do we mean by the quality? Students should know when they start something. Like, for example, they're opening the book and they're reading or doing a revision, or when they're opening a book and solving question, they should know what they're looking for. What is their goal?
Right.
Is their goal to see get exposure of different varieties of questions? In that case, they don't need to fully solve question. They can see the varieties and solve partially. If their goal is to improve their calculation speed, they should solve the questions properly, thoroughly till the last step. If their goal is to improve the speed, they should do a speed run. What is a speed run? Put a timer, 60 minutes, I will try 50 questions at any cost.
Right.
So here you will sharpen the skill of speed. You may make some mistakes. So when you do the practice, you must know what you're looking for. Otherwise, it will be directionless.
Right.
Effort will not give the desired result. Same way, when they're practicing questions, when they're doing the homework, they should know my goal is to clear the concepts of this particular topic. So until they have achieved that, doesn't matter how many questions they have done. They could
Right.
achieve that by 10 questions, but they need to do maybe 50 questions.
Right.
So they must study with a clear plan, with a direction. Through that, with less effort, even an average student can perform very well in competitive exams.
So long hours doesn't matter, right hours with right strategy
Exactly.
matters.
Quality over quantity, right?
Right.
Correct.
So since we were talking about your COVID experience teaching, like your interaction with the student at that point of time was a little bit different from what you were doing traditionally in a classroom setup. So what's the impact of technology that you felt at that period of time?
I still remember it was a big challenge. Our technology or our tools were not up to the mark what was required during the COVID time. I still remember to explain a particular concept in simple harmonic motion, I used to take photo. I will draw something on my iPad,
Okay.
then take 5, 6 different photos, then combine them through PowerPoint and create a GIF.
Okay.
So those GIFs I used to play. Matlab photos, still photos, if you combine,
Yes.
become a continuous video. Not a big thing, but yeah, that helped me to explain the student because I'm not in front of them. So that is the best we can do.
Right.
Then by doing a lot of search, I found some augmented reality AR related apps. Those apps are still we are using, and I still find teachers not using them well enough. They are a game changer.
Right.
They are literally like you are sitting in a lab and performing experiment without doing there exactly.
Right.
So students find it very interesting. They
Right.
find it easier to visualize. For example, to show how the electric field looks like for a
Right,
charge,
right.
we can draw it. How does electric field of one charge affects another charge?
Right.
So the field line is a concept which students find difficult to understand and imagine. So that can be done very well with these AR apps. And technology is advancing.
Right.
My suggestion to all the teachers, embrace it. It
Yeah.
will be very helpful in your classroom teaching.
Right. So we've talked about technology, sir. Now I would like to know about the impact of an artificial intelligence in the present education sectors.
Yes. AI, whether it's a good or bad thing, it's here to stay. So we have to accept it. I still remember somewhere I was also hesitant to let the student use those, but doesn't matter how much you try, they will access it. So better give them a quality access to the AI or other technology. So if I look at from the parent side, what is one thing they want? What is the most important thing? Whenever I interact with any parent, they're looking for admission, they have one request. They want personalization.
Okay.
They want their child to get the personalized attention from the teacher.
Right.
Now that is not possible for us. We have so many constraints. We have limited teacher, we have limited time, we have to cover the syllabus. That personalization they are looking for. Every single new company which starts there, their first motto is personalization. We'll give one-to-one interaction.
Actions.
They start with it, but they can't maintain it because they have to balance their with economics also. So AI can do that for us. They can be a personalized mentor, tutor for the student. They can provide that one-to-one interaction. Obviously, they need a guidance from the teacher as well. You can't replace it. AI is a tool, is a help to the teacher. It can never replace a teacher. That is for sure.
Right.
Now, what are the different aspects AI can help us? One aspect is paper analysis and personalized guidance. Now, when an exam happens, we give suggestion to the student on what they can do, how they can improve. But those are very generic things. Not every suggestion will work to every student. Then we do call the students individually. We try to give them guidance. We have mentors for that. But again, that is not possible. It's not being done with the way which is required. Now, an AI will create a personalized plan for a student based on their mistakes. They'll check their mistake pattern, what kind of problems they're facing every time. They'll create a plan, study plan for the student according to their mistakes or their history.
Right.
This is exactly what all the technology is being done in sports also. A cricketer bowls, they check through biomechanics which part of their action is the problem, and they work on that. So similar kind of guidance has to be provided to student, because the competition is growing every year.
Right.
So unless we embrace it, we will not be able to compete. So one is this exam analysis. Second is doubt solving. Now here I will really appreciate Alan. The Alan AI app, the Ali, which we call, students are loving it. They really like the solution which are coming up. I feel we can have a bit more improvement in that. It's still a little bit robotic, but still it's on point, it's accurate, and my students especially, they really love it. So just to add a side note, in Mangalore, we have a residential program. So we have almost 50% hostel students. Because of the request of the parent, we have not given them access to any technology, any phone, nothing is allowed. The moment I took over as a center head, first thing I introduced a tab for the student. Because students were running behind the teacher, they were not getting that many doubt solving, or they were afraid to ask the teachers. But now the same student, they're sitting in a room, they're asking the doubts to Ali app and getting it covered. So that has been a game changer. I really appreciate Alan. I think they're doing a very good job. One more aspect is for us as a teacher. We have different type of questions, different type of assignment, different type of test papers according to the student's requirement. For a particular student, sometime for a particular chapter, we need to create a questionnaire of 30 to 40 conceptual questions hitting a particular way. Sometimes we may want questions which are multiple concepts. We should trick the student.
Right.
So we need help to create the exact kind of questions which can trouble a student, because we know that.
Right.
AI cannot create it. Here, a guidance of an experienced teacher is required. So that way, we have a QB, we have a question bank. I believe there needs more improvement in that. Once it's done, it will be a very help for the teachers. They can devote their more time on the student interaction instead of working on those question assignments.
Right.
This. One last thing, AI, if the technology reaches that point, AI will be a humanoid robot, not robot, digital avatar in front of the student, teaching them, looking at them, behaving, interacting, responding according to the students' doubts. So that is a future, maybe we'll have it. And AI has broken the boundary of the language.
Right.
Now we don't need to have a Hindi speaking teacher for Hindi belt or English speaking teacher for other. AI can change your language. They can have the same teacher teaching the whole India.
Yes.
So these are some of the aspects, some of the impact of AI. And I believe that the coaching or the company which taps into it will be the leader in this race.
Right. Which means we have understood that the right balance between a traditional teacher and the AI, if it goes in hand, absolutely it makes magic among students.
Definitely.
That's been an amazing thing, sir. So tell us about how should a student recover after scoring low in a mock test, and how to turn that bad day workout.
I believe student, this is not an easy thing. We as a human, we always expect some an outcome, and when it doesn't go according to our expectation, we feel regret, we feel disappointed. So that is a normal human thing. But with practice, we have to make the students believe that it's a normal thing. It's a normal thing to perform bad. It happens to everyone. Students should focus on that moment, what they can do at that moment. I tell all my students, even if they have an exam after 2 months, 3 months, focus on what is the task for today.
Right.
Don't think about the exam after 3 months. Don't think about what will happen. Don't think about if I perform bad in one exam, how will it affect my goal? How will it affect my selection chances? Focus on what is the task in front of you right now.
Right.
When you focus on right now, things seem manageable.
Correct.
It's like you're trying to climb a mountain, not looking at the full peak. You're looking at the next 5 steps.
Yes.
You take the 5 steps, then the next 5, then the next 5. Eventually, you'll reach the final peak.
Right.
So, their job, they know the exam is just a part of a process. They have to do the second part of the process, analysis.
Right.
The student who knows that the goal of exam is not over when it's done. It's what you do after it. That is analysis of exam. Analysis of mistake, categorizing your mistakes. What are the silly mistakes? And I want to add this to the student. Silly mistake is not one where you forgot the formula in exam. That is not a silly mistake. That means you were lacking practice in that topic. Silly mistake may be like 2 plus 2, you wrote 7. That is the actual silly mistake. So, what are the mistakes you had? Was it lack of practice? Was it a conceptual, there was a lack of clarity in it? or was it, did you not prepare well enough, or time management was an issue? Do the analysis and try to make a better strategy for the next exam. This is the exact reason we keep a 14 days gap, 2-week gap between each exam. The first week after the exam is the analysis of the previous test, and the next week is the planning for the next test. So plan for the next exam, try to change the strategy. You may be successful, you may fail in it, does not matter, keep trying it. If you keep finding the better and better strategies, eventually you'll find out what is the best way you can perform in exam. So if they realize that what you do in the exam is not that important, I mean the mock exams, but what you do after the exam is far more important, then the hype, that happiness of good marks in mock tests or the sadness of bad marks in mock tests, they will not affect you that much. And this, as a teacher, I have never asked the marks to the students what they scored after the exam in the class. So what we do is we have a mentor for every student. The mentor will call each of the student. They will ask what they did. They will ask what was your analysis, and then they will give them some suggestion regarding. So this is how we try to remove the problem, the bad day, the trauma that they feel, how to remove that. So this is our strategy we follow. And I feel the parents also play a part in that. They should also, instead of scolding a student for scoring bad, they should ask, what do you think went bad? What do you think you could have done better? And what's your plan for the next exam? Just ask these 3 questions and the student will definitely succeed in whatever exam they prepare.
So since a lot of students comes to a physics teacher specifically for doubts, and I felt a lot of students ask, what is that error? We have already talked about analyzing a paper, but what are the categories of error that you can see it in a physics subject?
Ma'am, there are different types of errors. As I already spoken, it could be a calculation mistake. Now, calculation mistake could be due to many things. There could be many reasons for it. You may be in a hurry to solve. Maybe you did a small step, simple calculation mistake, 2 plus 2 is 7. Okay. I'm not saying that big mistake, but you can make such silly mistake. You forgot a negative sign, you forgot to multiply or divide. Those are errors. They could be due to you were underconfident. Now, student make calculation mistake not just because they were careless. If they're underconfident, imagine I'm a driver just learning to drive and I try to drive in a traffic area. I'm always afraid I will do something wrong. I will get into an accident, and I'm sure 100% there will be something. So when the student knows that this particular question is not my strong area, this particular question has troubled me when I practice at home, they will try to make a silly mistake in that because of lack of confidence. So that is one reason. The answer for that is practice. You practice that topic, figure out those topics through exam. Now this is where exam comes. These exams are telling you this is your weak area, practice it. Then they forgot a concept. Now this is a question I get asked so many times, sir, we forgot in the exam. When we went back home, we were able to remember. See, your wrote the exam at 2 o'clock. You went back home at 6 o'clock. Your mind had 4 hours to process a problem. Obviously, you can remember it. So this is not a problem that's a careless thing. No, it's the lack of clarity. The concept was not strong enough for you. That is why you could not remember it in the pressure of exam. So again, the same answer, revise it, practice it. Okay. So you could have mismanaged the time. You could not tackle the question. You spend too much time on specific question and missed out on the easy question. So again, that means next test, fine-tune your strategy, make a plan and try to achieve it. Now, how to figure out all these things? What we do is, we make a student prepare a thing called error file. Now in Allen Digital also, they prepare a detailed analysis of the mistake the student has made, but I make my student write it themselves. So they will paste the question paper in a notebook. Whatever question they did wrong, they will write detailed solution of those questions once we have discussed them in class. And they will write the reason they made that mistake. So reason could be, at that time, I thought it was this concept, but it came out to be this concept. At that time in exam, I did not give enough time. So the reason you made a mistake, you have to write it down. And 2 months before exam, we make our student revise that error file of the whole 2 years, 11th and 12th, first PU, second PU, before writing the exam. So these are some ways they can manage, they can remove these things. But here, the main thing is the analytical skill of a student, the ability to know they are doing something wrong.
Right.
Majority people cannot do that.
Right.
They will keep repeating the same mistake
mistakes.
again and again. It is a very big skill to step back, to observe, to analyze, and to
Right.
correct your mistakes.
Right.
It's not an easy thing.
Right.
That is where experience of the teacher comes up. They have to approach them, they will guide it.
Right. Sir, if you have to give one piece of an advice to students watching out the video, or to a parent who has to fine tune their kids so that they succeed in their life, so what would that be?
To the students, I will say one thing. Statistically, the competitive exam that you're writing, the success ratio is very bad. Okay. Statistically, majority of students who are preparing for competitive exam, they will not get the desired result. They will not get the desired college. They will not get the desired branch. That does not mean you cannot be successful in life. Your goal is to be successful. For most, the goal will be to earn more money, right? So the preparation for competitive exam is part of that process. They will develop your thinking capacity, what I call scientific temperament. Scientific temperament is not just for science student. It is the ability to logically see every problem and finding a solution for it. That will help you whatever field you want to work in. So we are, as a teacher, trying to build that scientific temperament in our student. If that is done, even if you don't succeed in the competitive exam, I am 100% sure you will succeed in life. And for the parents, I want you guys to support their children, support them their education. Preparation for competitive exam is very difficult. It has lots of ups and downs. You have to be there for the children. When they come to you with a doubt, with a problem, with a issue, they want you to listen. They want you to understand. The main issue, the main problem that students have come to me, they've told that parents don't understand what they're going through. So just understand, just listen to them, support them, guide them, and they will come out with a better person.
That's been a real and an eye-opening conversation with you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your experience and the insights to students who really wanted to navigate their preparation through their competitive examination. I'm sure that this is going to be helpful for a lot of students who are watching out the video. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. It was a wonderful experience for me also. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. And to everyone watching out the video, I believe the biggest takeaway of this particular podcast is that it's not just how long you study, it's how right you study. And if this podcast has changed your perspective a little bit, share it with someone who is preparing for NEET or JEE. I believe that this video is definitely going to be helpful for many students and as well as to parents as well. Until next time, keep learning, keep improving, and most importantly, stay consistent. Thank you, everyone.